This is Truth Frequency Radio.
No hate, no hype, no fear. Real people, real radio.
Welcome. We are broadcasting live from the mothership. You are tuned in and listening to Starseed Energy Radio with your host jonahbolt. Starseed Energy Radio, where you can always tune in to hear the colors and see the music. Starseed Energy Radio goes live in 3, 2, 1.
All right, what's up, Spaceship Earth? Thanks for tuning in. You are now receiving a live transmission from Starseed Radio, where you can always tune in to hear the colors and see the music. I'm your host, jonahbolt, and today is Tuesday, a beautiful sunny day here in Boca Raton, Florida. A beautiful October day. Have some exciting guests on the show for you today and also for the rest of the week. Lots going on around the world. Lots of news reporting. We had Columbus Day yesterday. Today is the 13th Tuesday of October 2015. I'm your host, jonahbolt, the arcturianstarseed. And we're going to start the show off with one of our famous daily quotes. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. That very famous quote by one of my masters, Yoda. Thank you, Yoda. Ryan, unfortunately, will not be joining us today for the daily download, so I'm going to jump into some headlines, and then we're going to be joined by a very special guest, a gentleman I met years back, who is definitely one of my star brothers and part of the Star Tribe. But first, let's jump into some news and headlines from around the world. NBC News fail. Pro-Hillary campaign results in a 10-point poll drop. This is an interesting article. So NBC News apparently ran Hillary ads nonstop and did whatever they could to boost her ratings. Unfortunately, NBC lost 10% of their viewership that week. Imagine that. I'll post this article up. All of NBC's shills and all of NBC's lies couldn't make Hillary Clinton's polls numbers rise. In fact, in the week of after NBC turned its entire news and entertainment divisions over to Hillary Clinton campaign, a new Reuters poll shows that her support tumbled from 51% of Democratic support to just 41%. Good work, mainstream media. Love ya. Gold and silver, the international globus creating havoc around the world as its massive Ponzi scheme has begun to spiral out of control. We've been talking about this for years on Starseed Radio. If people don't know, money is a fiat currency. It will eventually collapse. Every fiat currency in the history of mankind has. This is why we've been talking a lot about metals and gold for years on the show. This is nothing new. If you haven't checked out starseedgold.com, check that out. It's a new world's first saving gold-backed system and currency system. It is unbelievable. I'm involved. Several of the Star Tribe members are involved, and it is bringing abundance back to the planet. It's putting gold back into the hands of people who deserve it. Not just deserve it, but also raises the vibration. Gold has amazing metaphysical properties. So check out starseedgold.com. You could set up a free gold-backed savings account, start stacking gold. I am. Many others are. If you want more information, you can email me or contact me on Facebook. This article goes into why gold and silver is so precious, talks a little bit about the dollar, and in a few weeks of Russian Air Force jets bombing specific ISIS strongholds and munitions depots, more damage was effectively inflicted than vaunted U.S. military forces. Among the world's finest and most effective, especially when fighting almost defenseless countries with no air force. Now, as you know, we mentioned this in the article because there is war being torn all over the Middle East right now. And when the dollar and these wars do finally stop, we're going to go back to basics. Back to basics is gold, silver, and the precious metals that have been here for thousands of years. Red alert. This article just came out yesterday. NATO going to nuclear in World War III war games in the Baltic Sea. Well, isn't this just great? NATO is now doing training in the Baltic Sea using nuclear weapons. Good going, NATO. It's official. China launches global yuan payment system. China's central bank has started a global payment system which provides cross-border transactions in the yuan, a Chinese international payment system. This intends to internationalize the yuan and challenge the U.S. dollar's dominance. This is big news. As we're talking about currencies the last few weeks and gold and other things, I was in Orlando this weekend and saw the world's first paper gold money. It was unbelievable. I met with the top executives in Orlando this weekend. A shout out to Sherilyn and the whole team in North America that's bringing this to the people. You can check this out again at starseedgold.com. Sign up for a free gold account. Contact me, become an affiliate. Let's get you going. So this article again goes to back that up, why we're getting involved with a gold-backed system. Because the dollar, as China is challenging the dollar right here in this article, the world knows the U.S. dollar has lost its power. If you look at a chart, which I showed this weekend, 1913, the Federal Reserve is created. 1933, FDR's executive order makes it illegal to hold gold coin, bullion, or certificates. 1944, Bretton Woods, the event we've been talking about the last month, established the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. And 1971, Nixon closes the gold window, end of Bretton Woods, beginning of the modern-day fiat currency system. Now, in 1913, when you had a $20 bill, it said on it, can be turned in for a $20 gold coin. It said that on the $20 bill. Google it. Check it out. Now, they've changed all that. The gold is not able to be turned in for U.S. dollars now. You can't take your $20 bill and turn it in for $20 of gold. No. They did away with that system. Now we're just basically wiping our butts with $100 bills. Although you can still buy things with it, its value, its basis is based on nothing. In 1913, the dollar was worth $1 backed by gold. In 2013, its purchasing power is 5 cents, whereas in gold has steadily gone up, as it always has the last few thousand years. I'll post this picture up also on Starseed Radio so you can see a visual diagram. So China launches the global yuan payment system, challenging the dollar. Big news. GMO implode. Monsanto stock tanks as farmers shun seeds. This is a great article. Farmers are waking up. Pity Monsanto, the genetically modified seed and agricultural giant. Its share price has plunged 25% this spring. Good for them. Market prices for corn and soybeans are in dumps, meaning Monsanto's main customers, farmers who specialize in these crops, have less money to spend on its pricey seeds and flagship herbicide, which recently got named a probable carcinogen by the World Health Organization, spurring new lawsuits. Well, the cat's out of the bag. Monsanto's been poisoning people all over the planet. We know this now. Stop using GMO seeds. Stop supporting Monsanto. And let's go talk to some farmers and have them grow some good organic food. It's time. 77.5 million households are not paying federal income tax. I say good to that, since they're already printing our money, taxing us on it, taxing us when we get it, taxing the employers for giving it to us, and then we get taxed when we use it. It's a triple tax system, y'all. So I actually support this article. This is a good one. Stephen Hawking says we should really be scared of capitalism, not robots. This guy trips me up. Although he may be one of the world's smartest people, some of the things he says is just ridiculous. Like when he said, we're definitely the only ones out there, meaning us humans, we're the only ones out here floating around in space. There's definitely no intelligence out there. We know that's total BS, Stephen. You may be smart, but you haven't looked at some amazing factual data that every tribe on the planet knew we came from the stars. Every indigenous tribe on this planet knew to respect Mother Earth, respect Father Sky. Every tribe on this planet knew we came from distant star systems. Stephen, time to wake up, brother. One last article. Millions of Americans are misdiagnosed with cancer when they only had non-malignant tissue clumps. A bombshell report commissioned by the National Cancer Institute claims that the country's 4-decade war on cancer has largely been waged against a vastly misunderstood enemy that in many cases represented no treat to human health whatsoever. What they're saying is many women have been misdiagnosed, and Americans, men too, of cancer clumps that they say are cancer, so you go get treated. And it's not cancer. Although we've seen some crazy facts, 1 out of 2 males in the U.S. now gets cancer. 1 out of 3 females. That's 2 in 5 people of your brothers and sisters are getting cancer because we're being poisoned. Spread these articles far and wide. Check out starseedradio.com for the latest news and updates. We're always posting these articles up. Check out Ryan Dernick's page. We have an amazing webinar coming up. We have the Earth series, the Synergy webinar, next Sunday. We have some amazing stellar participants in that. Laura Eisenhower, Corey Hart. We have Philip Gruber from Singapore on sacred geometry. So check out synergyoneness.com. We have limited seating. We had our first Synergy webinar last month. It was amazing. We're blessed to have so many awesome people to learn from, to be taught from. That's what this is about, getting the information out. Synergyoneness.com. Laura Eisenhower, Charles Gilchrist, Corey Herder, and Phil Gruber talking about sacred and biogeometry, sacred feminine energy, sacred symbols in geometry, and sacred geometry philosopher Charles Gilchrist giving us all a download. Again, check out synergyoneness.com. Register when you can. And if you haven't gotten our free energy information or our free piece of shungite, also check out starseedtechnologies.com. With that, we are going to bring on our first guest of the show. This gentleman is none other than one of my good, close star brothers from a distant star system above. He's here today to talk about some very important topics that, although you may not understand some of the topics and some of the information he may be downloading us with today, Google, research, check it out, learn for yourself. We're not here to tell you anything. We're here to share our knowledge and wisdom with you and hope that you want to learn and share this knowledge right back. With that, we're going to welcome our very own ZEN to the show. ZEN, good morning, star brother. How are you doing on this beautiful Tuesday?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, Jonah. So nice to hear your voice, brother. How are you today?
Oh, doing good. It's a beautiful cloudless day here. No chemtrails, no poisons in the air. So everyone seems a little bit chipper and happy today. I heard you're also in Sarasota. Good to have you in the dirty South. How's your trip in Florida?
It's been incredible. Such beautiful weather down here, amazing people. And I've really been enjoying that crystal sand out on Siesta Key Beach. What an amazing place to be there and watch the sun go down and the stars come up. This is just a really powerful spot. I think a lot of the folks in this area know that and are aware of that. And I'm glad I resonated to this space, and I'm glad I've been here to share time and space with the folks down here. It's been absolutely amazing. Blessings to them, blessings to my hosts and my new friends and extended family down here.
Excellent. I've heard Sarasota is a crystalline vortex. It definitely is a PowerPoint from people I've talked to, and very interesting ley lines there. So glad you are in the dirty South here in Florida. Now, Zen, you had some really amazing topics you wanted to talk about today, so let's jump into that. And again, if people don't understand some of the terminology, just do your own research. YouTube, Google, check it out, and learn this information. But Zen, if you would, download us with some Mother Gaia energy info on whatever topic resonates.
You've got it, baby.
Best to you.
I've got some amazing information to share with the Star Brothers and Star Sisters and extended family today. And you were right. I'm glad you mentioned, there really are no rules here. This is just something to play with. And these are recipes that have worked for me. But, hey, there's different recipes out there, and it's just nice that we have these options. But today I'd like to share with your listeners something that I've come across and begun developing, which is this theory of ascending mastery. Let me go ahead and define that a little more. It's really natural for us as a society and individuals to evolve and progress. I mean, that's what we're here doing. And at a certain point, this evolution becomes exponential. I consider this evolution as a gateway into another realm of ourself. And practicing healthy techniques and studying specific materials that resonate with each other, with ourselves and each other individually, allow us to transcend through this gateway into a higher state of being. And we're obviously witnessing that happening all around us. The old paradigm is shifting, which is, that's by universal laws of physics. Change is constant, and that change is happening. We're living in this day of major change. And people like you, Jonah, such a sweet and beautiful man, are helping us evolve along this path into this higher level, this ascension that we're taking. Immediate results, to be noticed from this are heightened awareness, healthier body and mind, healthier soul, much greater effectiveness in our daily life, deeper state of calmness, wholeness, the awareness of our true unlimited nature, and eventually recognition and identification with the truth, which I believe that we are all God. This, what I'm talking about in this level of mastery is not about mastering anyone or anything other than oneself. It's not about changing things outside of us directly. It's about changing the things outside of us by evolving inside, evolving in being. Because ultimately, I believe we all serve the same master. If we look above and believe in the infinite possibilities of ourselves, we will recognize that we are God. Live like it and believe it, people. And some of the good principles along this path, because I'm big into technique rather than just theory, is, a motto in the way we talk to our water and telling our water to keep us healthy. Eating healthy, and what is really healthy? We need to know that everything we pick up on the grocery store shelves, it might say all natural, but that might have sugar and it might have other stuff in it. So we should really be aware of that. And we believe in love. I know we do. And a greater belief in love and a deeper understanding of love. That love and eye contact with somebody on the subway, a smile rather than looking away, or the love of giving somebody that half a sandwich when you walk out of the restaurant. We make love in the music, the food, the friendship. We know what it is. We feel it. You get a feel. It's not just about male-female love or loving your lover regardless of color. It's about really manifesting a beautiful state of molecular love. We take that energy to a higher level. It resonates as a really golden, godlike molecule. We should all breathe deeply. We can all trust in the universe. We are her children, and she loves to co-create. I mean, look at the amazing things we've already created in our history. This new paradigm brings in a higher level dream state. So we are truly dreaming things in distance, literally overnight right now. Look at the fascinating things that are going on. Touching each other is such a good thing. Healthy touch. A pat on the back, a nice long handshake. That's a good way of loving ourselves and being kind to each other. Giving more, meditating, exercise, there's so much great exercise. Oh my God, there's yoga. There's just stretching, taking a walk. All of these things are great ways that we love ourselves, make ourselves to be a little more healthy, and treat ourselves truly like we got them. Dreaming, respecting ourselves. I'm big into the self-love because then we can distribute it easily with the other stuff. And as we're evolving as a society and individually, we're truly manifesting something that I'm terming as the Crystal City. And the Crystal City is not one location. The Crystal City is this network of crystallized beings that are emanating such a high-level resonance that we are really, really, really truly altering this planet alongside universal principles and creating a much healthier, more loving planet. And Jonah, I want to congratulate you for doing your work for so long in this realm. And I look forward to doing more work.
That's amazing. And Zen, right now, I am looking at the picture of me and you at the Galactic Gathering, which we did a few years back, a 3-day amazing event on Grandfather Mountain, and we were just honored and blessed to have so many people, Star Wolf, shamanic breathwork, and we did this, I was just telling a friend before, we did this event for free. We didn't charge people to come in. We didn't charge people to eat. We didn't charge people for the classes. This is how it should be. It's a bartering, giving back society. And what we did was beautiful that weekend. We had hundreds of people come, camp out under the stars in the oldest mountain range in the world. And that's the type of work and type of projects that we continue to do throughout the world. And I just want to thank you for that, being part of that, Zen, and making that happen, because that was a very special event that me and you put together that really set the tone for a lot of future events for not just us, but for many. So thank you, Star Brother, for that. It was awesome, working with you during that event.
Oh, I concur, Jonah, 100%. Anyone who was there knows what an amazing and kind of life reaffirming event that was. We were blessed with so many beautiful and high-level practitioners. Kelly Jones with the Akashic readings. Once again, Star Wolf with the breathing exercises. Xavier Hawk with his amazing drumming. And I can't list them all right now, but such amazing and beautiful people. We were truly blessed. I received so much from that experience. And 2012 was really a kickoff, with that Mayan calendar. The end of the world as we know it, man. It's definitely been an acceleration since 2012. I think a lot of people know that was a big year for a lot of folks, man. That was great. Thank you. That was so much. Let's do that again, Jonah.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I want to talk a little bit about something very important, which is the festival Burning Man. And I say important because what they have done, that festival has set the tone for what we all want to see mushroom out into the world. A world with no paper fiat currency, a world with no credit cards, a world with giving and receiving, equally sharing and living in abundance just by being our creative self. Can you explain a little bit about the festival Burning Man, what it's done for you? Not even a festival, just the way of life that the burners have showed you and I and the rest of us, and what that festival stands for, because our listeners are the burners out there. Our listeners are the ones that are here to make a difference. So if you would, Zen, give us a little download on the Burning Man experience from your perspective, please.
I would love to. Burning Man did really change my life. It was one of the first places on this planet. Well, first of all, when you're out there in Black Rock City, it looks like you're on Mars. It's a very alkaline surface there, and as folks are stomping around in those fur boots, the alkaline dust, the playa dust, what we call it, is getting kicked up. It's basically gypsum dust, and it has a detoxifying effect. So the geographic location is a very sacred location. It's an ancient lake bed that's been dried up, and there are million-year-old plankton living there, living beings. It's just an incredible space. One of the best things I've taken away from the Burning Man experience, besides being just surrounded by really true unconditional love, are the 10 sacred principles of Burning Man. And I'd like to review those just a little bit so that folks who are not familiar with those can understand those a little better. And it's not something that can only be practiced out at Burning Man. This is something that's not only practiced at the regional burns, but I walk La Playa every day. I like to practice these principles one at a time and overlapping when I can. And so let's talk about some of these principles, because I think these principles are actually great techniques for a good way to get around town, man, and a good way to communicate and deal with each other. One of the first principles is radical inclusion. And to define that a little more, it means that we welcome and respect the stranger. There are no prerequisites for participating in the community, accept people the way they are, radical inclusion. We're all different, a different age, we're all a different gender, we're all different size, we all come from different backgrounds. Aren't we truly beautiful? Isn't our diversity truly sacred and amazing? We are all these eyes of God, it's such a brilliant experience. I wouldn't want us all to be cloned and be exactly the same. And I think part of the old paradigm, the old Newtonian way of straight line thinking is leaving. So I think we're going to see more diversity. And I'm glad to see that we're embracing that more. Another principle is gifting. The value of a gift is unconditional. There's no return or exchange. It's just about giving. And I got to tell you, look at the people at the highest level. Look at the folks with the most money and the most time and freedom and ability in the world. They love to give back. They give back in spades. They love to give back. And it's truly an amazing experience to gift. it's also an amazing experience to be able to receive. So, the first year you can just go and just receive. That's a gift as well. Decommodification is something you've talked about a few times, Jonah, and that's the third principle I'm going to talk about. There is no money exchanged at the Burning Man. Once it costs a little bit to get there, although I think all of us have done it at least once on the cheap. They have scholarships and stuff like that. You can get in. Your friends will take you out there. Trust me, if it was meant to be, you'll be there. But decommodification is just getting off that Federal Reserve system, and not exchanging those dollar bills that are so tied to such an archaic system of debt and slavery. And I am huge on decommodification. And truly, when we're allowed to do what we want to do without this hyper pursuit of money, the baker will bake, the dreamer will dream, the candlestick maker will make candles, everything will be fine. There's still going to be somebody to cut your grass. We all fall into our natural talent. Fourth principle would be radical self-reliance. Discover how to rely on yourself. If you're going to need some water to drink, bring some water. The sun's going to be out. Bring some sunscreen. Learn how to rely upon yourself. And I bet one of the things that I learned, it's a pretty common knowledge that comes from this, is that I didn't need half as much as I thought I needed prior to practicing radical self-reliance. As a matter of fact, the more
Zed, hang on right there. We got to cut to commercial break. We're joined with ZEN from Asheville, now in Florida. Hang on right there. We take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Starseed Radio.
In this world of calamity, dirty looks and grudges and jealousy.
Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes. Saturday on Truth Frequency Radio.
The greatest form of control is where you think you're free when you're being fundamentally manipulated and dictated. One form of dictatorship is being in a prison cell and you can see the bars and touch it. The other one is sitting in a prison cell but you can't see the bar, you think you're free.
What the human race is suffering from is mass hypnosis. We are being hypnotized by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers.
We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on is absolutely enormous.
That's right. That's from our very own David Icke. A shout out to David Icke speaking some truth. You're listening to Starseed Radio. Please check out starseedradio.com for the latest news and updates. And also, please check out Starseed Technologies. If you haven't gotten a free piece of Elite Shungite, it's an amazing quantum healing stone. You can call toll-free 888-400-2328 anytime, 24/7, or go to our website, starseedtechnologies.com. Fill out the form. We'll also send you some free energy information. And we're joined by a very special guest today talking about an amazing place called Black Rock City, talking about the event Burning Man, what it's doing to society, what it's teaching people to society. We're joined by a very special guest, ZEN, talking about that. And as ZEN just mentioned before we went to break, the decommodification of the money system, the fiat currency, the BS. And as we were mentioning earlier, check out starseedgold.com. This new gold-backed system is an amazing system everyone listening can take part in. Contact me for more details personally. I'm here to be of service. I am totally backing this. It's an amazing, amazing system, and I hope everyone can check it out. Check out starseedgold.com. Now back to our very special guest, ZEN, who is now visiting us in Sarasota, Florida, in the Dirty South. Now, before we went to commercial break, ZEN, I believe you were on number 4 of the principles of the Burning Man event.
Yeah, we were, brother. Thank you, sweet one. So let's see. The next one we're going to talk about is the radical self-expression. And every person has a unique gift to share. So express yourselves, folks. Wear what you want to wear. Say what you want to say. Dance how you want to dance. You're beautiful. We love you just the way you are. Radical self-expression. After that, John, I'm happy to talk about the communal effort. So that's going to be number 6. The communal effort is what you're doing. This social network that you're creating. The communal effort is also in our public spaces and our works of arts. So let's see more of this communal effort to help continue elevating our consciousness.
And Zen, your microphone's going out a little bit. If you could speak up a little bit, that would help.
Okay, you got it, brother. So that one was communal effort.
There you go.
That. We'll move on to civic responsibility. We value a civil society. When we do, anything we do and engage in has more than one person. Let's take all of our local laws and et cetera into consideration and be respectful of the people who are there with us and the land where we are. We have a certain amount of civic responsibility to take care of each other and our communal spaces, the space we live in, our streets, our towns, our cities, and Black Rock. It's a great experimentation in a microcosm of the way we can live, and you saw it. Leave No Trace has probably got to be one of my favorites. It's one that transformed my life perhaps the most. Recycle, renew, reuse, but there's a 4th R that's been added to that: reduce. When I started practicing Leave No Trace and picking up cigarette butts and any plastic bottles, et cetera, that were across my path anywhere, not just out at Black Rock, but in the city, I started to realize that I don't need to use half the stuff that I use. So let's reduce our amount of waste, and then with whatever waste we have, let's recycle, renew, reuse it. And I got to tell you, everybody loves this recycled art. I see a lot of upcycled chic furniture. It's really cool. It's really cool to do that. The participation, let's all participate in this new paradigm that we're shifting into. Let's all participate into building this new crystal city that we're living in. It's not a location, it's in us. We are the crystal city. We are these crystals that are beaming light back and forth across this planet, across this universe, to and from each other. That is the new matrix as we're leaving this old concrete matrix. Let's participate in that. Let's engage in that. Let's not just sit back and be spectators and expect to reap the rewards. I'm big into you want to reap the rewards. Let's help do some of the work. Let's participate and engage with some of this good work, this fun work. Even the work on yourself. That's great work. Elevate yourself. Practice the yoga. Practice the meditation. Work with the breathing. Eat healthy if it resonates with you. And if it doesn't, find something else that resonates with you that'll help take you to a higher level. That's what we're here for. We are evolving. And the final 10th one of the 10 is immediacy. We're here now. Be here now, folks. The mind is never present in the now. The mind is always behind you thinking about past or in front of you thinking about the future. To truly be present in the moment, we can just release the mind. And you, the true you, the you that is the energy body of you, that's more than just your physical body, more than just your human experience in this lifetime. Let's place ourselves in that power point for ourselves. That's a powerful position for ourselves to truly concentrate our life energy, our life force, which is so sacred, in the moment, folks. Where else do we exist? I don't exist 10 seconds ago, and I'm not going to exist in 10 seconds from now because it's not there. I exist here in this beautiful moment. And when I truly learned how to be immediate and present in the moment and capture that space, every moment is beautiful like that. It's a long cycle of beautiful moments. So those are the 10 sacred principles, brother. I didn't invent those. Those are on. You can find those on burningman.org. For anybody who hasn't gone, please take yourself to the Big Burn out of Black Rock City last week of August until the first week of September, or any of the local regional burns, or just if you choose to review these principles and practice them in your own neighborhood and in your own daily life. It's a gift from La Playa to all of you. Off to you, Jonah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Star Brother Zen, for talking about such an important event that really is paving the way for a sustainable future, not just for us, but for generations to come, and it's showing a new system. So thank you so much, Zen, for your light, your love, and all the work you're doing, just being yourself, working on yourself, and in turn, you're helping this world bloom into something beautiful. So thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time to come on the show.
My pleasure, brother. Let's continue blooming together and with all of our extended friends and family. And I will see you on Black Rock City on La Playa next year.
Yes, you will.
Let's manifest that, buddy.
2016, brother. We'll see you soon. Love you.
I love it. Be well. Cheers.
And with that, we're going to jump to our next guest. But before we do that, I want to give out the Game of Thrones Person of the Day. And after the show so far and listening to the topics and what we've been talking about currency, Burning Man, bartering systems, and talking about this new gold savings and currency system coming into place around the world, now in 124 countries around the world, I'm going to give the Game of Thrones Person of the Day spot to Janet Yellen. She is the new Federal Reserve CEO. She took office as chair of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System on February 3rd, 2014 for a 4-year term, ending in February 3, 2018. We'll make Janet Yellen the official Game of Thrones Person of the Day. I'll also post up some more charts showing the devaluating flow of the U.S. dollar and the uprising flow of gold. One more article I'm going to post up. Gold prices will rise because ... An awesome article by Gary Christensen. I'm going to post this up talking about how the central banks will lose control, how a divert disaster can take down the dollar, and many other things that we see coming. Gold prices will rise. This is a currency that has been used for thousands of years. Gold is not going anywhere. The dollar is. With that, we're going to jump to another very special guest all the way on the West Coast. We're joined with Lonny Coulter, a.k.a. Starwalker. Good morning, Star Sister. How you doing today? Can you hear us? Are you there? Oh, we can't hear you.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Good morning,
Hello.
Star Sister. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. And I invited you on the show to talk a little about your path, your mission. You're a neuronetic connector in this transformational tribalism that's coming back to the planet with festivals like Burning Man, which we were just talking about the 10 principles, what this is doing, re-educating, knowledge, education. So I wanted you to come on and talk a little bit about what you feel is your mission, what you're doing to bring this new awareness and knowledge to the planet, or I should say ancient knowledge, and maybe give us a little background on your story. How did you first awaken to your truths? How was your path and this information introduced to you? Was this something you were always tuned into since a kid, or did you have a sudden awakening?
Well, actually, it's been very slow, and it's still happening for me now. Actually, each day I seem to be getting more insights, and I can't really say that I've seen the full fruition of where it's going, but it's all good stuff. I would say it started when I was a kid. When I was 11 years old, I had a spiritual experience in which I just felt really enveloped in love. My mother was a Buddhist and my dad was a Catholic. So naturally, I had a lot of questions and I wasn't really satisfied with their answers. And I used to beg to go to church. I was the kid that said, I want to go to church. I want to do what everybody else is doing. And so because it was off limits to me, I became a real Bible studier at a young age. And then that kind of progressed into studying all the different religions and belief systems across the world. And I noticed the similarities, and I also noticed the inconsistencies and some of the things that just didn't ring true with me, but then things that really did. And so I just basically started looking for the truth at a very young age. And that started to expand into, obviously, the physics, science, sacred geometry, a lot of Eastern philosophy and whatnot, Buddhism, and so forth. And then, I just knew I was different. My interests were different. I've just kind of been doing my own thing, kind of like the lone Star Walker, if you will, and educating myself because there wasn't a lot of people in my circles that were as passionate about finding these truths as I was. And I guess at the end of the day, I was looking for the truth, and what I found was God or consciousness, whatever you want, goddess, God, consciousness. And I've been kind of letting it guide me since I was about 23. I just developed this trusting and allowed the energy to come into me, and it's kind of been pulling me in this and that direction ever since. And it's been taking me out of my comfort zone like you wouldn't believe. But at this point, I feel like it's culminated to a place where, at this time at least, I'm bringing together other groups of people that I've been blessed to know that are doing some really amazing things, such as yourself, that have dedicated their lives, blood, sweat, and tears, the whole works, to really contribute to making this world a better place and breaking down some of these regimes and walls that have been put around us. And right now it's all starting to come together. So, did you have any particular question about any of that? Or
So, well, that was a great background. Thank you for that. Now, once you've basically gone on this path, as you have and many others, Zen, myself, it's very hard to sort of unlearn what we've been taught, as Yoda would say. You must unlearn everything that you have been taught. You know, that's the first thing to do. What has it been like the last few years on this path, and what have you seen towards the transformation of the planet with people waking up?
Well, I've seen a lot of people really coming together, but one of the things that has concerned me is this, and this is kind of an area that I've been focused on as of late. It's that when people start waking up and they start looking for answers, there's always somebody there or a group there that's ready to take you out to left field and give you bad information. And even though, this is a wonderful time where we have so much accessible to us with the internet and so forth, unfortunately, there's just a lot of stuff to take you off track. And I've really noticed, a lot of that happening, especially in the New Age community. So they've kind of taken they kind of tried to damage what beauty and truth, Jesus's words and religion had to offer with the organized religion. And now they're doing kind of the same thing with these other truths that are coming out in the New Age communities. So I just really have been kind of trying to encourage everyone to stop looking outside of themselves for the answers, and looking up to someone else for those things. Go straight to source and go within. And I think one of the big things that's bringing this wave in is we're all starting to, face our demons. Everybody's going in and starting to transmute those lower vibrational energies in their bodies and allowing that truth to come through. And that's kind of what I've been doing too. I went through, I had to lose a lot of things. I'm fortunate to be very detached to things now. That was a really good transmutation experience for me. I mean, most people would say, hey, that's not a good thing when you work that hard and you accumulate so much and then you lose it all. And this happened to me about 3 years ago. And at the time, it was pretty bad. But as I came through that, it was a really purifying and beautiful experience, because those things don't define me. Those things are not me. And if I measure myself on those things, I'm just completely off track. So that's one of the things I think is really important for all of us to do, is kind of go inside and connect to source and be that which we look and we want to see outside of us. And I think transmutation is the answer for that. I didn't know how much you want to go into detail with that, since you only have a few minutes.
That's great. I think the most important thing you said, Lonny, was to go inside yourself, and that's what Zen said as well. That's what he's focusing on, and that's such a strong message. That's the message I hear from the show today, is going within. By going within and learning more about yourself, what you truly want, what your true passions are, where you want to go in life, what you want to see. By doing that, you are in turn helping the world. By changing yourself from within, you're changing yourself in the outer world. And the more of us that do that and can do that, we are going to see much more quantum leaps towards unity consciousness, which is what we're all going for. It's the 100th monkey effect. We know that that's true. That's truth. That once enough of us reach this critical number of conscious beings, that we can help and transform the rest of humankind to a higher vibration of consciousness. So I think by going within is a very, very important aspect, and really something we all should focus on, including myself.
Absolutely.
The more we practice, the better. Now, I know you're into martial arts as well. How has that played into your transformation, your awakening, your consciousness? How has that helped you on your journey?
Well, it was it was the perfect fit, being a metaphysics person and martial arts. I mean, the two just go together just so well. I actually grew up with martial arts around me. My mother, my aunt, they were into martial arts. My mom did some teaching and whatnot. It's really helped me learn to tune out the energies and what's happening around me and focus. I mean, that's been really, really huge because I'm also very empathic and I'm very sensitive to everything that's happening around me. And so the martial arts has definitely helped me kind of center myself when I need to. Just as far as just going into a zone where outside influences aren't really affecting me and so forth, especially in crowds. It kind of, those are the kinds of things I do at public events and whatnot. It's kind of like a shielding process so that we don't just pick up everything that passes us by.
So basically, you use martial arts as many others use swimming or whatever as a time for meditation, of balancing, being one with the force, if you will. It helps you stabilize your energy field, your chakras, and by being aware of that as you are, you use that sort of as your meditation.
Sure. And, there's moments during the training, throughout my training, where I got into a zone, not necessarily intentionally, where time just slows down and you just become aware of things in a different way. And, once you've experienced that, you remember what that's like. And so I kind of, throughout my latter trainings, continuously strive to get into that state during my training, which, it makes it so much easier whether you're sparring or you're competing in front of a lot of people and you're under a lot of pressure and doing forms. The whole breathing process and the focus, centering, it's amazing because it just gives you a whole nother perspective on what's happening around you.
Now, I know just what comes up very quickly is something that is very dear to my heart. I bring up Star Wars. I started the show today with a quote from Yoda, and I say that because the more and more I tune into the message behind Star Wars, the more and more truth there is to it. And I urge listeners to really go back and check out Star Wars, listen to Yoda and the Jedi Masters. And what I heard from Yoda the other day was, a Jedi does not seek adventure. A Jedi does not seek excitement. And that really hit me. I was like, wow, that's very difficult for me because
I'm an adrenaline
I love
junkie.
the excitement and the adventure, but I hear what he's saying. Life is an adventure itself. You don't need to seek it. You don't need to chase it. Just by being in that balance and in that flow, you will unravel your greatest mystery of self, your greatest mystery of this adventure of life in itself, in its raw state. And just myself listening to that, and then you bring up martial arts and the force and training, that's really where it's at. You're using martial arts and your background to train your mind, to break your mind, if you will, of the programming that we've been programmed most of our lives, many of us, I should say all of us, and by using the force and using your inwardness to exponentiate the beautifulness that you're doing in the world with bringing events and other things to the masses. If you would, Lonny, give us some updates of some upcoming events, some things you're involved in, maybe some cool projects people can get involved with.
Oh, shoot. Well, there's a lot of things in the works. One of which is Joel Appiana with Revolution Radio. As I think you did an interview with him, right? He's getting a lot of
yes, Joel's awesome. He's doing a great thing. Check out his website.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of new shows going, whatnot, bringing on a lot of people that are speaking out about a lot of these things, so that we can really branch out and reach out. Different kinds of people. Everybody's not paying attention to what I'm paying attention to and what you're paying attention to. So everybody's got their little niche and the people that they speak to, I think. And then we're kind of bringing them all in together. So Revolution Radio, I think they're doing really good stuff. Your group, of course, is doing some amazing stuff. And there's actually this other group there. They tie into the Halo group that they're out in California and Arizona. And they're doing a lot of good things with aquapods, earth-friendly technologies, just very similar work to like what you're doing and One Earth Nation is doing. All these different groups have been working for decades, and they're not connected yet. And I think now they're all going to come together and put together much bigger events that involve a much more rainbow spectrum of people and cultures from across the planet. In Africa, in Vietnam, we've got some in Thailand. So it's just about everybody coming together and then bringing all the skills from all these various teams, because they've all got such amazing people, and then put them together like a round table. Then the real magic's really going to happen at that point, I think, when they all bridge together.
Absolutely. I think that's exactly it. That's the key to all of our success, is working together in some sort of joint project or some sort of joint system, because the only way for all of us to really co-create is to work together. If we have a focused intent and a focused core and a focused vision, then I think we really can to be the change we want to see in the world, as Gandhi said, but actually help bring in that new change by working together. I think that is the only answer for all of us in the future, is to come together as one tribe, as a worldwide tribe. We see all these wars and stuff going on, and it's really time for us to bring in the golden age, the age of Aquarius. The framework is here. The energies are here to support us. The people are here to support us. It's just really up to us to tune in and work together and bring in this new system. So I just want to say thank you for your service and your work and for what you're doing. And we're working with all these other amazing people. And a big shout out to Joel at Revolution. Is it revolutionradio.com?
Yes, I believe so.
Check that out, revolutionradio.com. And, there's so many other great networks as well that you could just learn this information from. As I said at the beginning of the show, me and Lonny could say all we want about our experience and this and that, but it's really up to you to research and learn this information and check things out and check with yourself and learn it. Because in order to learn it, you have to live it. And that's what we're doing. We're living under the divine flow, living, knowing the universe will help us, guide us, protect us. And by knowing that, it allows us to live in abundance in many different ways than what we've been taught. Abundance not meaning always money, or abundance not always meaning a mansion or a Ferrari. But we have abundance within ourselves and our family and our friends. And that, to me, you cannot buy and you cannot label and you cannot put a price tag on it. And that's the abundance we're living in. And it's a beautiful abundance to have such amazing beings to talk to and work with and to co-create. So absolutely. I think that's the underlying message. We're going to end here in a couple minutes. Any last words or phrases or anything you want to say?
Well, no, thank you very much, Jonah, for having me on here. I appreciate everything that you do, and I'm so honored to be a part of the team.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Lonny, give out some information. If people want to help out, take part, can people contact you? Any websites, Facebook address, Twitters you want to give out if people have questions?
Sure, absolutely. Facebook is good right now. You can find me on Facebook. My name is spelled Lonny, Coulter. Last name is Coulter. Lonny Lay Coulter. And you could probably find me on Jonah's friends list if they don't come up. Right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, Star Sister, thank you so much for coming on and spreading the light and love you have throughout the world. And we hope to have you back on soon.
Or you're welcome.
Talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Enjoy your day. Thank you for listening to Starseed Radio.
For Japan, could they have really planned it? Heading for the iceberg like the Titanic.